guys, welcome back to our channel, and if you are new here, then
welcome.
Today we are doing a sit down video about my labor and delivery story of Baby Cruz. If you guys are new to the channel, I just had my second baby boy Cruz, and we recorded my labor and delivery. If you guys haven't seen that yet, the link is down below. That video has been viewed over 21,000 times, and I want to say thank you guys that viewed it. Thank you for all the beautiful comments, and thank you to those who subscribed just by watching the video. So I've been wanting to make this video just because like the labor and delivery vlog, like that just shows like the actual,
a lot of the stuff that was in the, like once we got to the hospital, I don't think we kind of shared what we were thinking. What
was going through our mind. Yeah. So we want to make a sit down video just so we can, you know, get into more details on like what actually happened that day. So here it is. If you guys are watching our baby watch vlogs, during that whole week I was trying to induce labor. I was trying everything in the book, but like nothing was working. Like I was eating like hot chicken wings, you know, walking everything. And the day before I actually went into labor, we went to Juice Bar, and that was when my feet were swollen. So I was just like, is there anything that helped with like swollen feet or anything like that? And she recommended a turmeric shot. She said ginger shot too, but she was like, oh, the turmeric will help with the swelling, blah blah. At first I asked her, I was like, is there anything to induce labor? But she was just like, I don't think so, because she didn't know. She was young too. I was like, okay, sure, I'll take it. So I took the shot, and it tastes just like curry. So, and I didn't think anything of it. And then after we left, I was like Googling it, and it said like, don't drink turmeric, or don't take the pills or anything like that when you're pregnant. I was like, oh great, now my baby's gonna come out yellow, you know, like it was so yellow. So I was kind of scared because I took it and I didn't know if you could even take it if you're pregnant or not. They said it's okay to have turmeric like in food and stuff like that, but I guess not like
taking it straight.
Not taking it straight, and that's what I did. So
I thought the baby was gonna be born on, what was I saying the whole time? I was like June, the due date was June 3rd, and I kept saying it's gonna be June 1st. I didn't think anything was gonna happen. I mean, she had been trying so much stuff, doing so many things, so I'm just like, look, the baby's gonna come when the baby's ready. I think it's gonna be June 1st. I didn't think we were gonna make it to June 3rd the whole time. She took the turmeric shot thing, we went walking around. We ate, well, she ate hot wings, trying to do all that stuff, trying to make labor start. She would start saying, oh, I feel contractions, or the Braxton Hicks, or wasn't really sure what it was, but she was feeling a little something, but it would come and go right away. I literally didn't think anything was gonna happen anytime soon. Morning of, I woke up, you have been complaining a little bit, or saying like you start feeling it more, you start timing it.
Obviously being pregnant, like I was barely sleeping anyway, because kept going up to pee and all this other stuff. I was feeling contractions like that whole night, but like I was like sleeping through it. Like it's like kind of hard to describe, because like I was sleeping and I would feel it, and like I would like breathe through it like with my eyes closed, and then like I'll just fall straight back to sleep. It was like painful, not too painful, but like I definitely felt it, and I was just like, whatever, you know.
That's exactly why I was like, whatever. Like she would feel it, and you could tell that you feel something. It was more of uncomfort versus like pain. So I'm getting up, ready to go to work, because that would happen, and then when the contraction went away, like she was back to normal. So I'm just like, all right, ain't nothing wrong with her. Like I'm about to get ready to go to work.
I was just like, so I started timing the contractions at like 5 a.m. I was just like, I think it's getting serious, you know.
It was like, what, 7 minutes or something? No,
yeah, it was like 8 minutes apart. Yeah. And so I was just like, you know what, let me time it. So, and it was like 8 minutes apart. It was lasting for like a minute long. That was our time. If you guys watch our like birth plan video, you were like, oh, if it's 8 minutes apart, we're leaving.
I know.
This guy was straight chilling.
Because
I was just
you would get the contraction, and then you would feel it, you was like, okay, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, and then once it was over, it would just completely stop. And I'm like, so is it like for real? Is it Braxton Hicks? Like, is this like really going on right? So I didn't know. So I'm like, okay, she's fine. Another
thing was, that was my next prenatal appointment that day. So he thought it was gonna be June 1st because it was May 30th was my appointment, and they were gonna sweep my membrane. So in my head, I was just like, oh, like I can give birth like any time after they sweep my membrane. So like the day before, like I literally like got everything packed, like had everything by the door, had my last minute stuff, only because like I was just like, oh, if they sweep my membranes, like let's have everything in the car, because what if like my water breaks right away, like after the appointment. So I had everything like lined up. So I don't know if like that's another thing why like my body was ready, because like I literally got everything lined up.
48-hour period.
Yeah, you know, like if you feel ready, like that's when you're really ready. Like then that's like, I don't know, maybe some hormones released in my body. Like, all right, she got everything packed, now she's ready. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Like I said, I was timing the contractions, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when like Makenzie woke up, and she never wakes up for anything. She woke up and came downstairs. I was just like, she must sense something. Like, why is she up so early? She just wanted to cuddle. I was just like, she senses something. He was getting ready for work. I was just like, you think you should go to work right now? I'm like, he was like, I don't know.
Because you were fine. I'm like, she's fine. Like, she gets the contraction and then it kind of goes away. So I figured I was going to go to work. I was going to come home early to go to the doctor's appointment. And once we got to the doctor's appointment, that's when things would kind of start picking up even more. But as we learn, like, that stuff can turn quick.
So it's starting to get close together. So I was like, should I text a doula now? Because, like, you know, you don't want to, like, bother people if it's not the real thing.
I really didn't want to go through a whole bunch of stuff. Taking Makenzie, dropping her off, going to the hospital, doing all this stuff. And then they're like, no.
But then again, you never know. So it's just like, it's like a 50, like it's just so annoying. Wait for that time to actually happen, and like, you know, you don't want to go in there and they'll be like, no, this is not it. So I texted doula, I told her what was going on. She was like, okay, I would get Makenzie settled, you know, take her to where you're gonna take her now, and then call the midwife, tell them what's going on. I was just like, okay, so I got everything packed. Darius was like, oh, also in between contractions, like he said, like I was completely fine. So every time I dealt with a contraction, I would stop, breathe. Like it was painful. Like it would wrap, you know, around to my back. And then once it was over, I was like, all right, what I gotta do now? I gotta brush my teeth, did my hair, got a contraction, pause. Okay, next I gotta get my makeup, you know, pack everything. Like I was literally like doing a lot of things in between those contractions just because like we gotta go. And then it was starting to get close together. Then it started to be like 5 minutes apart. Then it started to get 3 minutes apart once we got in the car to take Makenzie. It was like almost 8 o'clock. And I told Darius, I was like, did you call your grandma like to tell her that we're on the way? He was like, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm like,
it was like 7 and I was like, I'm gonna call her at 8.
I was just like annoyed, cause I was just like, seriously, it's getting closer. Like I think this is the real deal. Like it's getting closer, like 5 minutes apart. Then sometimes it was 3 minutes apart.
I was like, well.
He was literally sitting on the bed on his phone. I was just like, what are you doing? He was just like, oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm like, then again, if you guys been watching us, you would know that his biggest fear was me giving birth in the car. But yeah, he was still.
I was picturing we was gonna go all the way there, go through everything, get there, they gonna be like, no, not yet. Then we was gonna have to go back home. And by the time we got back home and everything, we would have to go right back, and it would have been for real. So I was kind of like, I don't know if this is a real thing yet.
Thank God we left when we left.
We left on time though. I mean, I wasn't just gonna be like, no, we ain't going. I could feel that you were serious about it. I just didn't. I was in disbelief, but you believed that it was the real thing.
I was kind of in disbelief too, because I was like, okay, this really hurt.
Well, something was in you for you to be like, no, we need to go.
Because it was close together. Because whenever I was timing, I was just like, oh, this is getting serious. And it was lasting. Like it was from 5 o'clock in the morning. I was timing, and it was already 8 o'clock, and it was still consistent.
I think we both picture it like when you going through the contractions, you picture it being like more intense, or like you picture it being like, you know, like a movie or something. And it wasn't really like that. And I think this time you were more prepared for the contractions, you know, breathing through it, and you was expecting it and being able to work through it. That helped a lot too. If it just hit you and you wasn't like prepared or like trying to breathe and work through it, it might have affected you differently.
Shout out to the doula and everybody, because the breathing definitely helped.
It helped you take more pain. That made me think that it really wasn't the real thing. But if you were like, I probably would have been like, we need to go.
I knew it was serious also because before we left, like, TMI, but like I used the bathroom. I say that's the sign of labor too. If you have like loose stools, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is really it. Like I'm really getting all the, you know, symptoms and all the stuff of like labor starting. We left, dropped Makenzie off. I really want to record that part as I said in the video, but I was having contractions, and then at that time it was 3 minutes apart. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is serious. And like as you guys saw, we were vlogging that, and we got to the hospital. We went to valet. I was about to get out the car, but I was having another contraction. I couldn't even walk. I was just like, I had to stop. And finally, like, somebody came out and like, they're like, you want a wheelchair? And I was like, yeah. So after the contraction ended, I sat in the wheelchair. I was chilling. While going up the stairs, I had another contraction. So the whole time we was in the hospital, like, I didn't even know what room we were in because my eyes were closed and I was like dealing with that contraction. So I didn't even know like what part of the midwifery center I was in. Like the whole entire stay, I was just like, where are we? Like, what room is this? And I was just like confused.
Even all the way up until then, I'm like, I want them to check to see how far she's dilated. Just because I think I pictured it being at nighttime. Like, I automatically picture going in labor at night, going in the middle of the night. This was like 8 o'clock in the morning.
And I always, throughout this whole pregnancy, I was like, I want to deliver in the morning. I want to deliver in the morning. Just because I love natural lighting. Like, I would feel like more at ease, more calm with the light, you know, the sun, just being more alive. So I'm so happy that it was the morning time and not nighttime. You know, when I got there, that's when they had to monitor me for 30 minutes. And that was a pain because like you had to lay down, and you know, during my pregnancy, I was never laying down sleeping because it's so uncomfortable because he was so heavy. So I actually had to lay down, and like having a contraction, like laying down was like, it was the worst. Like, I don't know how people can labor in bed, like natural labor, because I had to like stand up like to feel okay, but like laying down like that, I was so much in pain. Just monitoring me for 30 minutes, and then they checked me. That's when I was like 4 centimeters when we got there. That's when they're like, all right, so you can labor in the shower now. You know, you're not ready to labor in the tub yet. So I guess usually in the tub you're supposed to be like 7-8 centimeters. So got in the tub. I mean, got in the shower. So let me explain about the pain. The things that were going in my head was to have open palms. That's one thing that the doula always said, and that's how you like breathe through it. Because if you clench up, that's you wasting all your energy. And you're holding it all in. So that was in my mind. Whenever I had a contraction, I made sure my hands were open. So I was just like, although I wanted to squeeze, I was just like, like
did a couple
breathing.
times.
I know, but I mean, yeah, when it got more intense, it's like I tried my best and keep in my mind, like, you know, keep my hands open and breathe. And like they were coaching me throughout the whole thing, like, you know, like of course you want to breathe louder, like once it got really hard. I was like wanting to scream, but they're like, keep it low, keep it low, and I was like, and it's just so funny because like I hate moaning noises like that. And like throughout the pregnancy, I was just like, I'm not gonna breathe like that. I'm not gonna breathe like that. And Darius was like, you need to practice your breathing. I was like, I sound like a freaking dead walrus. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Doesn't it help though?
But I mean, it did help. But I thought it was so stupid.
It helped.
And then my sister, who was recording the labor, she was like, oh, let me record this. And I swear, watching that video, like hearing me, I was just like, I sound so annoying.
Helped. And we sitting there just feeling helpless. So I can't really do anything. Especially when you was in the shower, we literally couldn't do anything because I wasn't really trying to go inside the shower. And then we moved to the tub.
After I got the shower, that's when, you know, they checked me again. That's when they broke my water and all that stuff that y'all seen already. Once they broke the water, I think that's the craziest part because she asked me, she was like, okay, I don't know how many centimeters that was.
It was like 5, 6.
She was just like, do you want me to break your water? And I was just like, is it gonna hurt? She was like,
not any more than giving birth.
Yeah, she was like, breaking the water is not gonna hurt, but she's like, it's the pain that you're gonna feel after, because that's gonna, you know, speed things up. So I was just like, okay, go ahead. And she was like, whoa, you're brave. I was just like, am I? Like,
long rod.
I didn't see it.
It was like this long. It was plastic and had like a little hook on the bottom. And she just put it in there and turned it, and then like a little bit of water started coming out, like.
And I felt it. I was just like.
And then she was like, next contraction.
You're gonna feel it.
And then the contraction came, and it was like. I was like, oh.
So that was in the video that y'all seen. I was just like, oh, I feel it. Because it was literally like I felt so much water coming out. And like the tightness, I was just like, oh my gosh. That's when things really got serious. That's when she was just like, okay, you can get in the tub now. First of all, trying to get in the tub, I almost fell. So I put one foot in there, and then I slipped and like
it was like a little stair.
Kind of like broke the jacuzzi. A lot of people thought I was gonna have a water birth, and I wasn't against having a water birth. Cruz, feels like he needs to be in the video since it's about him. So I wasn't like, oh, I need to have a water birth. I need to have a water birth. Yeah. Like I was just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. And I feel like that's really important when you're going to labor and, you know, because anything can happen. Yeah. Just so like, you know, if you want to have a natural birth and you end up having an epidural, you don't want to beat yourself over it just because it didn't happen your way, you know? So
and vice versa too. Yeah. If you want to have an epidural and you get there too late and you can't, you gotta be able to make it through it.
And even if you have to have a C-section, you know, like for me, like I was open-minded for anything. So,
expect the unexpected.
Yeah. So see, as you guys saw in the video, I did not have a water birth, and it was only because once I got inside the tub, I actually wasn't comfortable in there. And I really thought I would be like more relaxed in the tub, but like the water was warm, but I was naturally hot like during labor. So that's why Darius had the fan, which thank God we had that fan. Like that was a must-have for the labor. And I was so thirsty during labor. The doctors, the midwives, the doula, like they were like, wow, like you're so hydrated. You're like the most hydrated.
You drank like 10 cups of water.
Patient that we ever had. And it's like anytime in between contractions, like I was just like water. Like my eyes were closed the entire time. Like after she broke my water and once I got inside the tub, that's when things like got really, really intense. And my eyes were closed. Like I didn't even know who was in the room. I didn't know that nurses were in there. I didn't know that the midwife was in there because I thought she came, you know, broke my water and left, and that was it.
She was in there the whole time.
I had no idea because my eyes were just closed. You know, while I was breathing through contractions. When I got in the tub, then I had this crazy contraction. I was just like, it was different. It was a different feeling. So I felt it in my butthole. TMI, but this is the real truth. You know, I expected, you know, the pain to be, you know, in my vagina, you know, that's where the baby's gonna come out. No, the pressure was in my butthole, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I have to push. They were like, yeah, like, you know, it wasn't time. So like the midwife checked me, and I was like, I think I was like 7 centimeters or something like that. And she was like, no, like she said like the baby had to be, he wasn't like going down. Yeah,
she said he should be further along, like he should be further down than he is. They weren't sure why.
So that's when the doula recommended
doing lunges during contractions.
Good job. And
that was crazy.
Was the worst thing in life. Like, first of all, I'm not athletic. I don't like doing lunges. Like,
but she recommended it because she said when you do the lunge and do the lunge when you're having a contraction, it'll move whatever position the baby's in. It's gonna open you up wider, so it'll make the baby move down a little bit more. So that was and that worked. She said it's gonna intensify. It'll probably feel 5 times worse than it would.
Oh, it was 100 times worse.
But it helped.
Like I feel like I had no like stability when I was inside the tub. So like, they had me do the lunge inside the jacuzzi, and I just kept slipping because once the pain came and I felt it straight in my butthole. So like it really felt like a baby or something was pushing down on my butthole, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I thought I was gonna poop on myself. And that was the pain, and I was just like, that's when my vocals started getting louder, and then I was like sweating. I was just like hot. And I guess since I wasn't like fully doing my lunge to the full potential, since I was like so uncomfortable and I kept like slipping and sliding tub, they're like, okay, get out and let's try it on the chair. So I got out, and, you know, that was hard because just like, you know, now the contractions were like 3 to 2 minutes apart.
And you're standing up and holding on to me with one leg up on the chair, and then when the contraction came, you had to lunge to the right, and then the other one lunge to the left. Like while she was like lunging and with the contraction coming, she's leaning on me, and every time she leans to the side, like you can see stuff like coming out, and I'm just like, ugh. But I couldn't say anything. And
I felt it too, but like, you know, when you're in that mode, like I wasn't like caring, but I felt like, you know, like blood and liquids. Flip-flops. Yeah, blood and liquids was just coming down my leg, and I felt it, but I was just like, man, whatever.
That was...
So like I said, my eyes were closed the entire time. The only things that I said during labor was like water, my butthole, and my back.
And then they were even surprised that you did it like that many times, the lunges, because she was like, most people, they'll be like, they're not going to do it. Or it'll hurt too much, so they're not going to do a lunge anymore. But like you did the lunges every time. On the bed, off the bed, like, on the chair, in the tub. You did it every single time they said do it.
And when I was on the chair standing up, like I said, because I'm not athletic, I started getting like a cramp in my calf. So it started to hurt too much. They're like, okay, let's try it on the bed. You know, lift your leg up, you know, do a lunge in the bed, and I was
medicine ball.
And yeah, and I was like leaning on top of the medicine ball. Yeah, it is the medicine ball.
That?
A yoga ball.
I think medicine ball is the heavy ball.
A yoga ball? Is it?
A birthing ball.
Birthing ball. There you go. like I said, those are the 3 things that I kept saying. I kept saying my back because that was where the most of the pain was at. Like while he was like fanning me or I was holding him or whatever, like that's when my doula was putting pressure on my lower back.
Counter pressure.
It wasn't even on my back. She was like squeezing my hips, and that felt better than, you know, of course it's still painful, but like whenever the contraction came, if she wasn't there, I was like yelling. I was like, Amara! No, somebody had to be on my back. But like looking at the videos of the birth, I saw like the nurses were helping too.
Doing it, yeah.
I didn't know.
But one time she was like all the way over there, and the contraction came, and she came over. And she couldn't come all the way on the other side of the bed. So I was doing it on your left side, and she was doing it on your right side.
I'm telling you, it was teamwork.
Like pushing it. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just copying her.
It was definitely teamwork, and whatever she was doing, it was working to help it out a little bit.
And all the way up to this point, we got there like 9 o'clock. So by the time we got to this point where she went in the shower, went in the tub, got in the bed, started doing the lunges. So by that time, it was probably like 12:30.
And while I was on the bed, like doing the lunges, right? So after that, that's when I started to feel like nauseous. So I was just like, I don't feel good. Like my mouth was just so dry. I was just drinking so much water. And they were like, okay, so the doula got a cotton ball with
peppermint.
With peppermint on there. So that's supposed to help with nausea and stuff like that. So even throughout the whole labor, I had my diffuser. I had lavender.
Music playing.
Oh, music. Well, I swear I did not even hear
and
music.
I said that when you was making your whole playlist, I was like, you're not gonna hear none of these songs.
In the beginning, in the shower, I was listening to it. I was singing, you know, I was trying to like hum through the songs.
Yeah, that lasted
But
like
after
30
a
minutes.
while, I did not hear any song. I didn't hear anything at all. I heard our wedding song.
Yeah.
That was when we were inside the tub. And that was actually in the video too. So Perfect by Ed Sheeran, like that was playing in the video.
Yeah.
You know, that's our wedding song, and the doula was just like, oh, it would be perfect if he came out now, like during their wedding song. But obviously it didn't happen. So like I was feeling nauseous, so like the doula got, you know, like a bag ready for me to throw up, and then she had the peppermint too. The peppermint actually helped. It actually helped like with the energy. And like I said, the whole time I was just trying to remind myself to keep my hands open. Everyone in the room reminded me how to, you know, steady my vocals, make sure it's low. It was just starting to get like so intense. And then the midwife was just like, okay, turn around, let me check you. And she checked me, and she was like, all right, let's start pushing. I was like, what?
Everybody was, well, I know, we were like, what?
So apparently, like, I wasn't completely dilated to 10 centimeters, but the midwife, like, pushed my cervix to the side during the next contraction, just so like he can like make that way through. I did not picture myself delivering on the bed or delivering on my back. Like I always wanted to like deliver squatting because I heard that, you know, that was like easier. But once I was like on that bed, like I was just like, whatever, like let's just get this going. I was holding my legs back, and she was like, do you want to touch his head, like for me to feel down? And I was just like, no. And I only said no because like I already had like such a grip on my legs. Like I felt like if I let go of my legs, like I would like mess up something. So go down.
Your legs too.
Well, I don't know. I was just comfortable there, and I would have touched his head, but just in that moment, I was just like, I couldn't like let go. I was just like, let's go, let's push. I probably pushed about 3 times.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then he came out.
If you can see in the video when she started pushing, like you can see like my foot is like, oh.
We're gonna show it right here. His toes were like curling up.
I was like, oh my, because it's like with Makenzie, when she was pushing, you can't really tell. Like, I mean, they're like push. She's like, I am pushing, because you know she couldn't really feel it because she had the epidural. But like, I knew that she was feeling like all of this, so I was like, oh my god, like I was feeling it. And then even the nurse was like, she's like, Dad, are you okay? I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you would see like, saw a little bit of hair. Oh yeah. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I knew like she is feeling it. Like, you feel this, like this is for real. And
like once he like was really coming out, like the midwife was just like, all right, it's gonna burn. That's one thing I remember, because that is exactly how it feels.
And they was like, wait, hold on, and they was like, all right, next push. and
that's when it was burning. Like it was just felt like fire in your vagina. Like, that's how it was. Like his head was like out. His head was almost out. But she was like, wait until the next contraction to finish pushing.
His head was out.
So I was just like, so it's like you're literally out. Like your legs are open, like everything. You literally have to just sit there and wait till another contraction while his head is like
and
almost
I looked
out.
at the whole thing. No, his head was out.
Oh, his face was out?
Basically, it was like, yeah.
And then push. And you know, when you push as if you're having a bowel movement. That's what they always say. So you like push down. And like I was just like, like you have to get a deep breath. Like it was a lot harder because with Makenzie, like I can easily like breathe. You know, but this time, you know, I was just like gasping for air and then pushing again because I just wanted him out, you know, but to get over with. Once he came out, they saw why he wasn't dropping down.
Yeah, he should have been out.
Yeah, because they were like, you know, with how it was progressing, they thought he would have been out already. Once he came out, his arm, which arm was it?
His arm, it was like this.
It was like like that. So that's why it took longer because it was so wide for him to
his shoulder,
get down.
His shoulders, everything wider because his arm was like that.
And then once he came out, he was
his
like,
arms went straight out.
They're like, they say he was like Superman.
Soon as he came out, it was just like, like I'm like, oh
more
my
stuff came out.
Gosh, and everybody's happy, like, oh, happy birthday, and all that. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't remember that with Makenzie.
Really? I thought you saw a lot of blood with Makenzie.
Yeah, but that wasn't blood.
Oh, it's just water, liquid, or whatever.
It was stuff.
Whatever. Like that final push, and once they put him on your chest and stuff like that, like it literally felt like you took the best poop ever. Like, you know, when once it comes out, you're like, ah, finally that's out. Like all I could say was wow. And if you guys see in the pictures, like my mouth was just like during pregnancy when I was watching like other labor vlogs, like all moms would be like, wow, like, and that literally is a wow feeling. It's just like you feel all that pain, and once he's out, it was just like a big relief. It was just like, and it just happened so not quick, but I mean it happened quicker than Makenzie. With Makenzie, I was in labor for 19 hours versus with him it was like 4 hours. Like I couldn't even like get my emotions together. Like I didn't cry. Like I thought I would cry, you know, once he came out. I couldn't even cry because it was like so much going on. And even after he came out, like I was still in pain. I was still having contractions, you know. They were checking me, then they had to massage my stomach for like the placenta to come out, and that was another wow feeling because it was another, like once it came out, it was like a flop, like a big pancake came out. It was just like, that was like a whoa feeling, but again, you still feel all that pain. So how was delivering the placenta? Did you saw that?
Yeah, it's like, it's incredible what like a female body can do, because I mean, it's just things that's happening right in front of you. And these things happen like every day. And
every second.
Obviously the nurses and the midwife, the doula, everybody's going about everything. And I'm still like even though we have Makenzie, I'm still like, oh my God, I don't see this every day. Like, this is not a normal thing. Like, it's like big things are coming out of a human body.
Big things.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
So afterwards, that's when they do like the golden hour, like you do skin to skin for a whole hour.
We didn't say when he first came out. He was peeing. As soon as he came out and they turned him around, he was just peeing all over me.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's the very first
welcome,
thing.
Dad.
I'm like, what in the world?
And it's so funny because Makenzie came out pooping.
She came out, as soon as she came out, she was pooping. And as soon as he came out, he was peeing. So,
on you, though.
And his pee came right on me.
And I was laughing because all I saw was just like a little fountain. And I was just like, oh man. So that was my little laugh. But I was still in pain. Like, it was crazy. And then she was checking to see if I needed stitches. She was like, oh, it doesn't look like you do, but let me add 2 just in case. So with that,
she's like, I'm gonna numb you now.
I'm gonna numb you, right? That, I don't know what numbing she used, but that did not work.
I feel like they use like the thing they put on like a Q-tip in the dentist's office when they numb it a little bit before they give it a shot. They give you the real numbness.
I don't know what she did. Either way, I felt it.
Cause she put something, but
I literally felt the needle going through. I felt the thread. Like, I used to sew, and I literally felt like I was being sewed as if I was a pillow.
You were?
Like, it was just like, I literally felt it, and I was just like, I feel that. She was like, I'm almost done. And I felt her like making the knot, the end of the thread. I was just like, oh my gosh.
At this point, I walked away. I felt comfortable enough. Like, I seen what I needed to see. So at that point, I walked away.
But it was good because like I didn't have like, with Makenzie I had a 2nd degree tear, and with him all I needed was like 2 little stitches. And he was bigger, so he was 8 pounds 5.5 ounces. Makenzie was 7 pounds 11 ounces. With him I even tore less, and I don't know what that has to do with it. I don't know if it's the way I pushed or
your body has
anything,
been through it already
but
before.
you know, it was a lot better. But just recovery, even after giving birth, or even like, you know, that golden hour with him on top of me doing skin to skin, trying to nurse, everything was just so painful. I think the afterbirth is way worse than actual labor and birth. I don't care what anyone says, because like just recovery was, I don't know if recovery was harder, but it was just like, it was just a lot. After you give birth, like, you know, they want you to use the bathroom and stuff like that. Well, the better part was that I can feel my legs, so I could walk. They were very helpful, helping me walk to the toilet. And I definitely had to pee because I literally drank like gallons of water. And it hurt so bad, like my bladder was hurting. I was literally peeing. Like there was one time I sat on the toilet and the pee just wouldn't stop. It was peeing for like 2 minutes straight. And that felt so good. But like the afterbirth, like it was just a lot, like just trying to nurse. And you know, when you first start breastfeeding, that's when, you know, your uterus is starting to contract back to its normal size. Very, very painful, you know, getting him on there, and then while he's sucking, that's when like you're feeling contraction. You know, they have to massage your stomach, your uterus back, you know, to see how much blood is coming out. It was just like a lot. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would prefer natural birth over epidural now that I've been through it. Although it's more pain, I like that it was faster. I am planning on making a video on like comparing like both my experiences and just, you know, the pros and cons of both. But overall, I would do natural again. But Darius said that he's done with kids,
yeah.
Which I think is so crazy.
Take a lot of convincing.
How can guys say like they're done with kids, meanwhile the woman goes through hell?
I'm going through it with you.
Going through the pregnancy, going through the symptoms, going through birth and everything. You don't have to do anything.
It's gonna take a lot of convincing to. It's one thing that she could say that would make me think about it, but I'm not gonna tell her. You have to say it yourself.
What?
I'm not gonna say it.
What's one thing? What?
I'm not going to say
I want another girl.
I don't care about that. I'm saying something else.
I have no idea.
And no,
if
you're
you
not
guys have an idea, what? I love you?
No.
I have no idea what that means.
If you don't think of that, then I won't think about it. Because right now the answer is no.
Not anytime soon. Maybe when Cruz is like 4 years old, just like Makenzie. The age difference is perfect because Makenzie has been very helpful. But also during that hour, like we didn't know how much he weighed. We didn't know anything.
Yeah, the whole time.
Because he was just on me. And
they really didn't do anything.
And then all the nurses, they were like making bets. Like, how much do you think he weighs? Like, he's so big, dude. And I was just like, I don't know like how much he weighs. So they finally weighed him and they were like, what is it? What is it? And they were like 8 pounds. I was like, wow, I pushed out an 8-pound baby. Like I always wanted an 8-pound baby. Just because I was just like, oh, he's so big and chunky. And also after the skin to skin and they were like checking his vitals and stuff like that, he was cold, so they had to like put him under a light like to warm him up, kind of like a little oven, because there was like a timer on there.
Yeah,
and they're like ding, like he's done cooking. He just had to cook a little bit longer. And everything else is in our vlog, part 2 of how it was during our hospital stay and everything. But I will keep you guys updated. He's gonna have his 2-month appointment in like a week and a half, and I'm planning on vlogging that and giving you guys a monthly update. So that basically sums up this story time video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions about the labor or delivery or anything at all, just leave a comment down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching the labor and delivery vlog part 1 and part 2. If you only seen part 1, check out part 2 because you're missing out. Make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.